Now that we've finished discussing contributing, let's take a step back and look at how our end users can submit requests for things, whether that be a feature request or a bug report. As a group, we call those issues in GitHub speak. This video will be significantly less technical than the previous videos, as it's designed for the general audience who might wish to request things for Sectorfiles or report issues. Let's get started by how you might report an issue. You go to the Issues tab on the repository. First thing you want to do is check all of these issues, if there are any, and see if somebody else has already asked the same question, whether somebody else has requested the same feature or reported the same bug. In addition, you can also check the closed to see if something was already there. For instance, if you came to report the Anchorage ARTCC incorrect magnetic variation for the ILS courses offline, you can see that it's already been dealt with. As a matter of fact, it's marked as closed, so it's already finished being dealt with. And this merged icon down here lets you know that somebody has already made a fix for it, and that fix will be in the next public version. But let's say your issue is not covered. Let's say you need a new issue. There are two main types of issues. There are bug reports and there are feature requests. The bug reports are used for if you notice something off, right? And that can be something like with the Anchorage Center, the magnetic variation being way off, or that can be typos in procedure names, or something like that. Let's say, for instance, that there is a typo in the Zoo 2 departure out of San Diego. So I might say KSAN Zoo. How is it spelled? That's a good question. You see, this is why these typos happen. So if I take a look at the procedure, and linking procedures and things like that is a very useful thing you can do, we can see that there is the Zoo 2 departure. And if I copy this over, missed the extra zoo typo, I can give a link to the procedure. The more information you give us, the more we'll be able to help you. Say the name of the Zoo 2 departure from San Diego is incorrectly spelled as zoo, for instance. This isn't an actual problem. This isn't something that's actually wrong with the sector file, but this is an example I'm giving. Now, while this might seem like enough information, there's one more piece of something that we need, and that's which ARTCC or FIR this is in, which sector file the person's going to need to fix. So for instance, you might say sector AZLA for San Diego. Right? As long as that information's in there somewhere, it'll really help the people coming along to fix it. While this is enough for a full bug report, this is less likely to get picked up quickly. What you can do to help your issues get discovered quicker is add appropriate labels. So if I click on this Labels tab, we'll see all the different labels, and I'll explain what each of these do in a minute. Let's start with just giving the appropriate labels. Change for the US, the navigation issue, because it's a problem with the SIDS, and it's a bug. You'll see these labels all get added, and if you've got the right labels, it'll really help us triage your issue. If you don't have them, though, that's fine. One of us will come through and add them for you when we come to assign somebody to deal with the issue. So when that's done, you can hit Submit New Issue. Now, as I've made this up, and this is entirely incorrect, I'm not actually going to submit this issue. But instead, let's take a look at the issue we've already closed. This Anchorage ARTCC MagVAR is incorrect, the magnetic variation. And this was opened by the North America account. And I both assigned myself to fix the issue, as well as doing the triaging myself. So you can see that I added the triage labels for marking it as a bug and saying that some help was needed, showing that it was a navigation issue in the US and that it was a particularly beginner-friendly issue. If you see that beginner-friendly tag pop up, that means this is an especially good issue because we feel that your issue is even instructional to help us get new people able to modify these sector files. So if you submit a beginner-friendly issue, thank you. Later, the help wanted label was removed and a fix was made. Now that we can see this is fixed and this merged label is here, we know that the fixes will be in the next public version. And the issue is closed, meaning this whole issue was resolved. In the meantime, you can always subscribe or unsubscribe from the notifications for this issue if you want to get emails whenever things get fixed or whenever you're asked for more information, or you can just watch the whole repository. And that's the basics of how bug reports work. Feature reports are done exactly the same way, except instead of reporting something wrong, you ask us to do something new, maybe drawing out a new airport or updating some out-of-date procedures. If procedures are out of date, that's not a bug, that's a feature request. Hopefully that's helpful, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any further questions.